All right, here's a fact. You might not want to hear it, but here's a fact. Poor people work for money. Rich people make money work for them. Now, this is a direct quote from my good friend Robert Kiyosaki. Yes, he's the author of the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the #1 personal finance book of all time. And let me say it to you again, because you're probably a poor person. Poor people work for money. Rich people make money work for them. And just a few days ago, I spoke with Robert Kiyosaki on my show, and he said, Brian, our entire education system has one job in mind, and that is to create a worker, or a worker bee, who waits for a salary, who waits for a paycheck at the end of the month, and promises to be a good little boy or a good little girl and do what we're told. And that's our relationship with money from a very early age. And yet rich people look at it completely different. They don't work for money. They make money work for them. They understand the game. They understand all the implications around it, and they create wealth with the space between their two ears, their brain. They use it through entrepreneurship, through creativity, through seeing the future, and then going to create that infrastructure. Talking about names like Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos, but a variety of others you've never heard of. But all of these people decided to walk away from the poor person game, that you work for money, and that check every month is what keeps you alive, and you're so worried about losing that thing. And the reason I bring this up now is because it's so important, because this mentality around your wealth is got everything to do with what I've been doing lately with this concept of DeFi, or decentralized finance, because we want to allow people to finally get access to controlling their own money. And the thing that goes along with that narrative in schools that you work for money is that you don't understand your money. And we've all been brainwashed to be told that money's too complicated for you. It's what these experts do over here on Wall Street in the city of London. Your financial advisor knows what's best to do with your money, which is ridiculous. That's like your doctor saying he knows best what to do with your body. You know what's best to do with your body and your money and your brain and your right to free speech. Don't get me started. And so it's time that we give that freedom, the financial freedom, back to the people and empower people to take control of their own finances. And I'm talking about 1 billion people in Africa right now who can't even get basic lending or borrowing, even though they have a mobile phone. These are the kind of things we want to power with DeFi, but it's the mentality that I want to fight back against, and so does Robert Kiyosaki. And so think about this today. Are you poor or are you rich? Now you might say, oh, Brian, I got 100,000 pounds or I got $1 million. Huh, okay, but do you work for money or does money work for you? That's what I'm talking about. You're probably poor. I worked as a banker in the city of London making millions of pounds a year, but guess what? I wasn't making money work for me. I was working for money. So it's not the amount, it's the mentality. That mentality keeps you down. We want to look at that mentality, examine it, and change it, and then empower it through these really fascinating pieces of digital infrastructure of the future that I'm calling decentralized finance. You know, I've been talking about this for the last few weeks because I can't stop thinking about it. For me, it's a continuation of our mission to fight back for human freedoms, whether it's freedom of speech, the right to free and fair elections. This is financial freedom, and it should be a human right, and yet so many people don't have access to it. And that's what I'm doing inside my DeFi Academy. I'm taking a small group of people around the world, and we're gonna build the financial infrastructure of the future that's all digitized, all decentralized on the blockchain, so everyone can have access to it, and no more greedy bankers, and I used to be one, get their clammy hands all over your investments and rip out their fees and margins and take you to the cleaners. And we don't want that to happen anymore. So those are my thoughts. Please give me your thoughts below. And if you want to join me on this adventure, there's a link below, londonreal.tv/DeFi. We're closing this out soon. It's application only. But if you think you have what it takes to be a part of my group, then let me know. If not, we're going to help build the tools that are going to help you anyways. So I appreciate you. Leave me your thoughts below. Do you think that you're poor or rich? Do you think the banks are ripping you off every single day? Do you think government should not be the ones to tell you how to spend your money and what to do with it, especially when it comes to cryptocurrencies? Give me your thoughts below, and thanks for the time.